The UK economy is facing a supply chain crisis, which could damage the country's recovery from the pandemic. Major retailers are seeing levels of stock at their lowest in nearly 4 decades. Well, David Visick is from the Federation of Wholesale Distributors, and I asked him what factors were behind the shortages.
It's actually a shortage of people from one end of the food supply chain to the other, from the farms to the restaurants and the shops. We haven't got enough people to take the fruit and vegetables out of the ground, and we haven't got enough people to cut them up and put them on plates at the other end. And at every stage in between, in processing, in distribution and in service, we haven't got enough people. But it's the people who bring those sections together where we're missing most of all, and that's the HGV drivers.
I mean, what sort of challenges does that create for restaurants, for example? I mean, you've got an eye on every step of that chain.
Yes, and of course, this is any disruption in that supply chain causes ripples that run down to the end, and they're always worse at the end. And that's why we're seeing gaps on supermarket shelves, not all the time and not everywhere all at the same time. But you can't always get what you want all the time. So it's a choice shortage really, rather than a food shortage. But that shortage of choice is worse for the restaurant trade, because you've got a menu and you need to have those ingredients on that menu in order to be able to offer it.
So then you look at technology and you think, well, maybe that's the answer. I know the government are looking at these extra long lorries that are meant to be eco-friendly. There's talk about doing something with visas to speed them up. Is technology the answer? And if so, what?
Well, yes, it is, but it's not the answer to this problem. This problem is now. September is a critical month in food supply. The schools go back for the first time. They've been off all summer. The workplaces have been closed for months in some cases, and they're starting to ask their staff to come back in again. So that's workplace canteens opening up. That's the local coffee shop, the sandwich bar. They're all going to want food. And it's still summertime, hopefully. And those of us who don't have school-aged children, we want to go on our holiday. So the coastal resorts, the hotels, everybody else, they all need food. September is going to be really, really critical. And that's only the start of it. In October, we have Brexit, EU border controls coming in, or border checks coming in. And after that, you're into Christmas. Now, we missed Christmas last year. Everybody's desperate to go out, celebrate with their friends and colleagues. The restaurants and pubs and bars, they're all desperate to recover, because if you remember, they were closed for large parts of last year and the first half of this year, or trading very, very low. And so they want to get everybody in. They want to everybody to have the huge festival of food that is Christmas. But they're gone from having stock but no customers at the beginning of this year to having customers and no stock.
Well, as you say, this is an important stockpiling period ahead of the festive season. So will this Christmas be cancelled?
No, it won't be cancelled, but it might be a bit different. And I think it's all, as you say, it's all about the preparation. People are starting to buy in now, thinking about what might be different, thinking about what menus might look like, thinking about what your celebration at home might look like. But what we could do is try and fill the gap in the drivers between now and Christmas, and that would help immensely.